Hello, everybody. Hello. So I had a question for Pipman about the 200 and 300 handles she's getting. She said now she has more patience about the trade, like she's waiting for. But I wanted to ask because some of us maybe don't understand, but like what exactly are you looking for and like waiting for right now? Like what exactly are you waiting for to give more? Because from 10 handles to 300, I mean, you have to be looking for something like specifically like a bigger range, you know?
You mean the draw?
Yeah, the drawdown, or yeah, exactly. So what exactly are you targeting to get that huge handles, you know?
Oh, it's the draw liquidity, like Michael always says. You have to you have to have an idea on where price is going. That should be the first thing that you should try to develop and be good at. And so that's actually something that you should always be doing. But the difference is that I wouldn't hold it. So you need that even for 10 handle straight. You need to know where's your draw. What do you think price is most likely going to? What's the most high probability? But I would just get out of the trade. So that's the difference. But it's the exercise is the same. You're supposed to already do that. And well, my TP is not always the the terminus. Um, I also like to utilize wicks a lot, so I would also get out at a wick, like at the 50% of a wick. I posted one of those trades as well where I got out at the wick, and I think that one was like 200 handles. And the draw was higher, and if I remember correctly, I had it lined out like this trade to that draw is 500 handles. Um, and I just wanted to get out at that wick because there's also the element of being content with enough. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be happy if I get out there with the amount of handles, but also with the precision of the analysis about getting out at the 50% of a wick. So I'm trying to combine all those things, but the main element is just you have to have your draw and you have to have that even if you're getting out at 5 or 10 handles.
Okay. So you mean about, I mean, the week where, like Asia range, London range, what exactly, which range are you targeting for the liquidity? Because sometimes my range for liquidity is like 50 handles or maximum 100, you know?
Could
So
I just help real
where do you
quick
choose?
with that? Very, very quick with that, Andrew.
Yeah, sure.
The schematics within core content month 8, projecting daily highs and lows, capturing 70% of the range is really the only schematic that you will find capable of knocking down those kinds of ranges. So what I refer to within that then is you're thinking AMD and PO3, because where and how we are taught through the schematic of month 8 and where and how to capture 70 to 80% of the range is to be capable of identifying the A. And then when you're in the Judas swing, you're looking for the apex of the Judas swing. And then you're looking for the market maker to form through one of three entry criterion, the turtle soup, the first stage or the second stage accumulation. So those are what we are looking for very, very specifically within the model of how to
All right,
capture that
okay.
many points. How do you capture a 200-point range? You go back to core content month 8 and you study where and how to capture and understand where a daily range and how the daily range is forming. So where and how price comes out of the 1800, where and how price comes out of the midnight price is then going to leave you with your model, depending on where and how you're engaging with price and that specific profile, for you to look for those ways in which to engage.
All right, okay.
Can
Okay.
I can I
That
ask
makes
can I ask a
sense. All right.
question? When because I hear someone saying, "What are you doing differently that moves you from 10 handles to 200 and 300 handles, and what specifically are you doing that to get that much of an increase?" And I obviously I understand what she went through and she described it, but I think that thank you. I was going to I was going to let the commercial play through. The 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 jump from 10 handles to 200 and 300, whatever you were doing to frame a trade that was incorporating your drill where you're practicing just for a minimum of 10 handles, that's obviously going to have to expand. So whatever you're doing when you're 10 handles is the model you're chasing and pursuing. You have to then adopt a mindset of where am I going to get the range to define why I should even expect 100 handles or 200 or 300 handles. And that's going to be using different time frames, looking at a longer term perspective in terms of where we came from in the past, like what range are we in, how much of the range can we implement going forward and still be within the scope of your skill set. um, I didn't hear her say, I'm trading 10 handles one day, and then all of a sudden, a week later, I'm at 200 and 300 handles. There's a gap there, and I'm sure it was progressive over time. I don't know what that was, but I didn't jump from like small little moves to big moves. It was a graduated thing where you go from whatever your starting point is to now I'm going to try to double this. And then once I get that and I can be consistent with it, then I'll try to double it again. So we go from 10 handles to 20, from 20 handles to 40, from 40 handles to 80, to 80 to 160, and 320, and 640, and then, go on and on. But it's a graduated thing. And the things that you would do when you were doing it on the smallest scale, which is 10 handles, that cookie cutter approach, you're just applying it to a larger range that should yield you if you stay in the trade long enough. And it's a very uncomfortable thing. It's not fun when you first start doing it. There's a whole lot of you scare yourself many times. You're thinking, I got a really good win here. I've never been here before. I got 80 handles on. I'm trying to get 200. I'm stupid if I hold on to this. I got a feeling it's going to turn against me, and you have to wrestle through that. You got to get through that, and there's no way that you can avoid it. There's no other way to learn it. It's just you condition yourself by desensitizing yourself to the outcome, and over time you start seeing that. Oh yeah, many times I talk myself out of holding the trade because there's nothing technically saying that it was bad, nothing saying that it was not going to deliver. Everything was saying the other thing, but that's a measure of experience. And in the beginning, when you first start, the first couple of years, you're going to have all of this emotional arguments inside where the rational side of you is going to say, this is a lot of money. Why don't you just take it off? But if you're trying to develop as a better trader and you're training yourself to get better rewards in your trades and longer term targets and bigger profit margins, you have to condition yourself just like a weightlifter. You have to put more resistance behind the things that you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to stagnate and not grow. There's nothing wrong with being a 10 handle trader if that's what you want to do and you want to invest any more time into it. But to get to 100 handles, 200, 300 handles, 1,000 handle runs, you can't do this one step here, next step there. It's a graduated thing, and it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be the same model, the same thing that you'd be implementing that makes you bullish or bearish. The same entry mechanism that gets you into the 10 handle trade is the same thing you're going to use when you're applying that range approach to a 60-minute chart. So an hourly chart, when you're using like a 1-minute chart, you can get 10 handles all day long with the 1-minute chart. 15-second chart, you can get 10 trades per hour easy on a 15-second chart. 10 handle, 10 handle, 10 back and up and down all day long. You're going to take losing trades more than you probably would if you were trying to do something else. But if it's okay if you're comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. So I want to focus on something that I know is a strong hit. It's less work. I don't have to worry about anything, and it frees up my day. I focus on something that's going to give me a nice range portion of what I think the weekly range is going to be. And I think that if you hear what she was telling you, she just basically applied everything she did before, just submitted the time for a higher time frame, longer draw and liquidity. Nothing needs to change. That's your cookie cutter. Your cookie cutter does not change because you have to make more cookies. It's the same cookie cutter pressed in dough that doesn't run out. As long as the markets are operating, that's the dough. You just take your cookie cutter, press it in, and just keep making cookies. Simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much for the explanation.